And welcome to the Everyday Board Games Podcast with your host, Daniel.
And Daniel? I mean Bryce. I'm sorry. Sorry.
That's all good. Once again, Brys is joining me today to do our Chits Giggles topic. That's because Daniel, the other Daniel, is stuck at work. He's been really busy lately, so he's just unable to join me. So again, we're going to go ahead and record this, and this way it gets up and you still have content out there. Once again, I do have to mention that we're not on Twitch like this would be the third week in a row. That's just we're between internet problems and just other issues. We just want to make sure we still record even if we can't get up on Twitch. So Brys, thank you for joining me.
Yeah. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. I haven't been doing too much because Mass Effect decided to drop a legendary edition on the PlayStation 4, so that's what I've been playing a lot of lately.
Dang, must be nice.
Yep, it has been. It's been quite nice. Unfortunately, my board gaming has suffered because of it, but I shouldn't be talking too much about it because somebody else has a big board gaming because you're getting ready to go on a nice little vacation. Lucky.
I am. Yep. I'm pretty excited about it. It'll be the first time. Actually, that's not true. I've been out of the state a couple times, once with you and then once to go visit my family. But it'll be the first vacation where it'll just be me and the wife. Grandparents are watching the kids, and we're gonna go have some fun.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm a little jealous. Mine doesn't happen until October, so.
But at least we're starting to actually get out and go do stuff now, which is nice. So
Yeah, it's been nice. The vaccinations have helped. I felt a lot safer going out there, even though, oh my god, even though it was worth it, it sucked the side effects from those the vaccines because that hurt me a lot. That second one
see,
really knocked me out.
see, it's funny because you said it knocked you on your butt. It knocks my wife on her butt. All I got, thankfully, knock on wood, was my arm. But my arm felt like it was falling off. But that was about it. I didn't get any symptoms or fever or anything like that. I had just gotten like someone had just back in the day when you just got frogged right in the arm. That's what it felt like.
Yeah. So it's good. It's good. We're getting back to normal. Things are starting to happen. We're starting to do game nights again. Not as much as we used to, but it's going to start up here soon. I know my wife is going out of town to go visit her mother towards the end of the summer or the middle of the summer. So I'm looking forward to hosting like an all weekend gaming and just like come over, we'll play games. I'm looking forward to
Heck
that.
yeah.
So with that
Heck
being
yeah, I'm down.
said, what have you played lately?
Um, Fortunately, I haven't been playing a lot. I've been doing a lot more like digital gaming. So I've been playing Splinter on my phone, Onirum, my number one poop game, and on my Switch, I've been playing. What is it? Give me a second. It is Raiders of the North Sea because I have it on my Switch. So,
Nice. I do
but that's
like.
I actually haven't done any physical gaming. Hoping
Okay,
that'll
okay.
change with
So
the vacation.
oh, nice. That yeah, you were saying you had like a whole suitcase packed for just board gaming on vacation.
Yes.
See, that's my kind of vacation. Not this being dragged around amusement parks that my wife is making me do in October.
Yeah, you, poor you. You need to tell them where you're going, so at least that way they understand.
All right, so the thing is, my wife is an MRI operator, a tech at a local hospital. Well, she's trying to get her licensing for MRI safety officer. It's really good for her career and it helps her grow. Well, there's only a few places you could take the test for this. One being Orlando, California. So we decided, you know what, we're going to go there for her test. She might as well, she won't know the results till probably the following week because it's a proctor test and it's graded. So it's not like one of those tests where you can take your boards and you can find like a temporary and then you get your actual boards over the weekend or something like that. No, this one is you have to wait till it gets posted after it's graded because it's a proctor test. And so she's like, you know
Nice.
what, this way I'm going to be stressed about the test. Let me take my mind off that. We're going to Disney World. We're doing one day at Disney World. We're just to go see the Star Wars one. And then we're doing 2 days at Universal Studios.
Nice. Are you gonna build a lightsaber when you go?
Oh, you darn right I am, and it's probably going to be on the back of my wall over here. Take some of those board games down and move them somewhere else.
That's one of the things I want to do. I know this is a board gaming podcast, but that's one of the things I really want to do is go and build my own lightsaber, just so I can say have it. Like it's cool to have the replicas, and I have a couple replicas downstairs, but having that you built it your own, even though if it's
Yeah.
a generic system, that's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool.
No, I've actually seen the actual lightsabers you get from Disney. A mutual friend of ours has one, and it's really nice quality. It should be for that kind of price.
Yeah. No, I have two friends that when they went to Disney World, because they're huge Disney World fans, they both got their own individual sabers, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. And like when I picked it up, I was thinking, like maybe plastic, lightweight or something.
No,
I picked it up, I
no.
was like, this is heftier than my like replica saber that I have
Yeah,
downstairs.
it's really nice. They do like a whole ceremony thing from my understanding of it, so it's going
Mm-hmm.
to be kind of cool. My wife, however, is going to build herself a droid, so we're going to have a lightsaber and a personal droid in the house. And I'll probably
Yeah, see, I
steal
would
the
do.
droid and put it behind me, like you can see the sorting hat behind me over here.
Yeah, see, I definitely those are two things I need to do is lightsaber and a droid, and I'd be set.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. But again, mine is until October. You're going out of town here soon and having fun.
Yeah.
So with that being said you haven't played any physical games. I do have a couple games on my list that I can talk about real quick. One of them being is a game that we didn't get to talk about last time when we talked about like that big game night that we did once we found out like, hey, everybody's fully vaccinated. Let's get together and play a game night. And the one game I didn't talk about, or at least I don't remember talking about, is Sonora. Sonora is
Yes. You guys played this before I showed up.
Yeah, this was a game we were playing a quick game waiting for you to show up, and it's an interesting little and interesting on this one part too. It's a flick and right. So you're rolling rights, you're flipping rights. Simple enough. This one it's a dexterity game that plays in a roll and right aspect. It's pretty neat. It's pretty cool. I like how the board rotates this way because you can't flick into your area. You have to flick onto the board and you have to come back into your corner. So you can't just land in your corner. So you have to flick it, bounce it. If it bounces out, it doesn't count. That kind of stuff. It's really neat. It's really pretty, but the prettiness is more aesthetic than it is functional. It doesn't really help with the graphic design. It just lets you know the areas. But then those areas have these really hard to see, oh, this is a double for this area. So it doesn't count for this area. It just counts for over here, wherever the rabbit is or wherever the fox is and so forth. It's really nice. Really great components. I just don't know if I would pay full price for this one. If I caught it on deal, I'd probably pick it up. I'm glad a friend owns it. I can play it, but it's just something that I can't see myself going out of my way to buy. It's nice, but there's other flick and roll and rights that I prefer.
I was gonna ask if you'd pick it up because I remember you guys saying yeah it was good, and I remember it was supposed to come out for the last like tabletop day or
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever last year's International Tabletop Day or whatever it was called
Yeah,
nowadays.
COVID canceled all that, but I
Yeah.
remember everybody was all excited about this game, and I was like, well, it looks kind of interesting. But now that you've played it, it's interesting to see that you probably wouldn't pick it up unless it was on a sale. So I definitely would want to try that before if I
Yeah,
buy it.
it's a
But
try before you buy. And don't get me wrong, it's not bad and it's fun and I like the interesting concept of what it's trying to do. My only issue with it is for a roll and right and a flick and right, this is up on the top tier line here. So you can get a game of Quicks for like $10, $20. Cartographers is about $20, $25. What else we got out there? Silver and gold, you can get that for under $20. Those are great flipping rights. Welcome to another one that's pretty good. This one is up on like the $40 range, and don't get me wrong, nice components, wood pieces, a wood board, and stuff like that. But when you get down to the actual writing and the rule sets and stuff like that, it's a lot going on to trying to remember for a flick and right. I would play the pinball arcade one, the Skillcade, over Sonora again. I really like that
yeah,
one. This one just kind of meh to me.
interesting. Yeah, aren't the pieces in that though? They're nice wood chunky pieces,
Yeah,
are they not?
they're nice wood chunky pieces, but honestly, if I want like nice wood and that kind of concept, I'll just go buy a crokinole board.
Oh, by the way, I'm so mad. I was moving my crokinole just because you mentioned crokinole. I was moving my crokinole board, and the centerpiece, the glue and the nails popped out, so I have to re-glue
Oh,
it. Yeah, so
oh
like my
man.
crokinole board has like a giant hole in it. I have the piece for it, but yeah, it's like son of a because I like I said I was moving it and like the because I've been trying to put a nail up to hang it. Well, the piece that the wire that it hangs on, one of the little like hooks gave, and so then when
Ooh,
it fell, it hit right there, and it like on the
oh
back, and
man,
it popped it right off. And I was like,
that sucks.
so
And don't get me wrong, Crokinole such a good game that makes me a little sad because you're the only person I know that owns a copy of it.
well, it's an easy fix. Like it's not that it actually broke. The nail, the pin nails, and the glue that were holding it just looked like it was old, and it just popped it off. So I have to just re-glue it with some better glue. So that's not going to be a hard fix. It's just remembering to do it.
Okay, so let's move on here. So the second game that I got to play, I did a little solo game of Arkham Horror Lcg. I wanted to get that played. I'm in the Dunwich Legacy cycle. This is my second game of it, and oh my god, did this try to kick my butt. I won it at the last second, doing a little maneuvering and actually finding out what I need. This way I can move on to the cycle. I really do need to get this to the table more because every time I'm like, oh, I should play this, I'm like, oh, that's right. What does this do again? How do I do this? How do I do these checks? Because it just goes month to month before I play it again. It's just like I need to get to the table, but now that I got Marvel Champions, it's a little iffy to me. But I really do like Arkham Horror Lcg.
Nice, nice. Yeah, this is something that I'll be working on here soon. Will be going through my games, and if they have solos, try to play them. Um, I'm pointing up here because this one is definitely on that list. So, but I have a lot of like I don't get to game as much as we used to.
Yeah.
But I really do miss doing some solo, and it would be nice to put some of that stuff on my TikTok for reviews. So
I think that the fact of the matter is Arkham Horror LCG is just it's perfect for a solo game because it's not a lot of setup. There is a little bit. You're about 10 minutes setting it up because it's a bunch of cards going on the table when you're putting decks together for like your Mythos phase and stuff like that. But in all honesty, I could play that game in about 45 minutes to an hour with setup compared to if I want to get a game of Eldritch Horror or Mansions of Madness and stuff like that. It's a little bit of a setup. Luckily, second edition of Mansions of Madness have made things so much easier because of the app integration. But still, there's
yeah,
a bit of a chore. Whereas Arkham Horror, I can get that experience in about 45 minutes to an hour, and then I can put it away and I'm done. The only problem is I wish the Arkham Horror LCG came in the same box size as Marvel's Champions does because there's just a lot more room to hold more stuff. I can't even
yeah,
fit all of my cards in the base box, and because I have the second cycle as well, the Dunwich Legacy, you could probably see it right up here, and it just doesn't fit in one box. I have to go buy something at like a craft store, like a box, just to store everything in.
yeah. Those boxes for that because I have because we were playing it for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I that box is just tiny. I mean, it's not anything compared, especially with what they were planning on doing. You think they would have put like a little bit more
Well,
thought into like
you can't really see it, but I'm going to move out of the way real quick. But that's almost bigger because it's a lot deeper, and that's an expansion for Marvel's Champion than the base
yeah,
box of Arkham Horror.
yeah, most definitely. Yeah, no, it's one of those things that always surprises me, especially coming from a company like Fantasy Flight, where you know they're going to be pumping out that stuff. They know they're going to be pumping stuff.
Content. Yeah.
Yeah, give us the big box. Like, give us the. I don't
Give us something to store it all in.
exactly.
Because
Now, if it was something that you weren't expecting to do a lot out of, I
mm-hmm.
totally understand to just be like, okay, we'll just do it this way. We'll put a small box out. Maybe we'll have expansions. You knew this was going to have the calling
Yeah.
for expansions.
Another issue I have with it too, and I talked about this before, is that it's an LCG. I understand they want you to keep printing it. Some people are still getting into it. Like the third cycle, I can't get anything to like the base box of the third cycle, which is I believe the Path of Carcosa, I can't buy unless I want to spend $80-$90 on the off market to just for I can play that one. I'll have to skip it and move on to the next cycle because they're just not printing it anymore. Keep if you're going to keep running these living card games and you want more and more people to get into it, then I don't see why you just can't keep printing the base copies and some of the other copies as well.
Yeah.
And finally, my last game here, I mentioned it a little earlier, is Cartographers. It's still my go-to flip and write. The reason why I want to talk about it, one, I did play it, but also the expansion got pushed back a little bit. It was supposed to come out about June, July. Now it looks like it's going to be July, August, September range, which is fine by me because that comes out on my birthday or around my birthday. So it's like, yeah, a little birthday gift to myself.
That's actually in the bag for vacation, Cartographers, because that was such a fun little game. I loved it.
Oh yeah, it's such a good little game. It's a nice little flip and right. It's polynomials. You're just building out on there. And the thing is why I'm looking forward to the expansion is that one of the map packs is I think it's called like Underdwelling or Underveil or whatever it is. So you actually have to, you're building it underground. So your next rooms have to be adjacent to something that's already built. So there's no spreading around the map as you would expect. This one has to be built as you're going through.
Nice.
But yeah, so that's what I've played other than, like I said, Mass Effect just dropped for the PlayStation 4, the entire collection, the original trilogy. And I've been playing the mess out of that. My favorite video game just released a Legacy Edition, basically. So yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, I've been trying to get the wife. We've been playing Halo Master Chief. I've been wanting to get back into Halo since the new Halo is coming out soon, I think. So
yeah, I just found out that I'm going to have to buy an Xbox here soon. After we get our PlayStation 5, I have to buy the new Xbox because the new Bethesda game is only going to be Xbox exclusive, Starfield. And I'm like, they're giving me a Fallout Elder Scrolls game in space, and now it's exclusive to Xbox. Well, I'm going to have to buy one of those digital ones where I could just get the Game Pass and play everything.
Yeah.
All right.
I knew you'd come over to my side.
Oh, I'm going to get the PlayStation 5 first. That's just regardless.
I know, but it's just funny that you have to get an Xbox now.
Well, I originally had an Xbox because I went from PlayStation 2 to Xbox 360 and then bought a PS3, and I just fell in love with a lot of the games that PlayStation was because they really hampered on the single-player aspect. And I didn't even get the entire next gen of Xbox. So yeah. I went a whole cycle without an Xbox. But moving on, let's get to our discussion topic. So this was an interesting one, and it's a little sad that Daniel can't join me because this is actually his idea, and I thought it was a great idea. And that is, and I worded this on the Board Game Revolution page on Facebook. This is where you can always find our topics as well as our top 8 debates. Is with the recent post of a retheming of Horrified into Terrified, a fan-made game, mind you, where you have Chucky and Freddy Krueger and stuff like that into it. What game would you like, if you could, have your own personal retheme of it with the availability of 3D printers and really good printers that can actually print cardstock nowadays? You pretty much can retheme any game that you want. What would that choice be? And there is some interesting answers in the comments below, and Brys had to do a quick list real quick, but it was pretty simple enough for him to do. So there's some interesting stuff that we're talking about. I do have to say, I don't think any of the comments actually said any of the games that I came up with. How about you? Or you haven't looked too much at the comments, have you?
No, I have it up. I can look real quick because that is an interesting thing. I mean, and it's always one of those when you do something like this, like how people's minds will think of something completely different.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's quite interesting what people could come up with. And I'm not that creative, and I think I came up with some pretty cool games that if I could, I would make myself.
Yeah, no, there's some pretty cool ones in here. Like I'm looking at them like, ooh, that's a good one. Like I don't know if you're going to discuss these, but there's one, it's the Kingdom Death Monster rethemed into Kingdom Hearts.
So we're going to go through all the comments here.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, no, there's definitely some cool ones in here. I would buy right now if you were like, yeah, we're making this. This is happening.
All right. So I'll go ahead and start it off with our comments here. Once again, thank you to the Board Game Revolution Facebook page for allowing us to post on here as much as we do. The first one is by Mark, and he says, Death May Die into a more cartoony version. He loves it, but in his opinion, the dark, somewhat serious style does not match his style of gameplay. And I get that. Some people don't like those dark themes, and so making it more cartoony could be palatable for some. You want to go ahead and read Billy?
Yeah, Death May Die. That's the Simon, right? Simon one, right?
Yeah. It's the Eric Lang, Rob Davio.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so the next one is DC Comics using Marvel Champions. I love the MC, but I really desperately want an awesome DC card game. It's funny because I know they have the DC deck builder. It's a deck builder, right? I've actually haven't played that one. I have a couple of friends that have it and they swear by it and they love it, but it just never drew me in. But I agree with you. It'd be kind of nice to see either like a living card game of it or something using that DC theme more so than say, what is it that just came out? Like the DC Spyfall or
Oh yeah, like instead of like what we're doing, retheming a game, but actually putting
yeah,
a
like
solid. Yeah, no,
put
I
a
don't
solid
disagree
game
with you.
behind a good name than that. So
Yeah, because in all honesty, if you look at it, DC doesn't really have anything really major that I can think of off the top of my head, board game wise, other than the what is the one I got you that is the Thanos Rising,
the
Batman Who Laughed.
the Batman Who Laughed Rising. So they have that one, and the other one that is really serious that we played, and I think again I want to get back to the table, but it was the one from Monolith who
Oh,
did
okay,
the actual Batman game.
Batman Chronicles or something like that.
Yeah, Batman Chronicles.
Yeah,
So
no,
and they have I put in for the backing on it, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it. They had a solo game with Batman just recently on Kickstarter.
I know
I can't remember what it was called.
they just had a Kickstarter or is coming up or something like that. Kevin Wilson, where he basically reskinned the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game into Batman as well. So
Yeah, I saw that too. That might be pretty interesting.
but the thing is, with like Marvel's Champions, they're doing like what the MCU's doing and giving you like superheroes you didn't think of, and the same thing with Legendary as well. Whereas DC, it's always the same ones. It's Batman, it's Superman, it's Wonder Woman.
Wonder
She's
Woman.
recently got popular with board gaming as well. And I want to see more. Give me Flash. Give me some of those other guys out there. So I can't think of them off the top of my head, but I don't read a lot of DC or haven't read comics really lately. Aquaman would be another interesting one because they just don't get as much love unless it's the evergreens in the DC universe where Simon just did the whole Marvel United and gave you some random heroes, and then not even to mention the X-Men United. This was one up, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that guy or that guy over there.
And they have some pretty good team ups. I mean, like one of their famous ones is Teen Titans. Do a dungeon crawl with Teen Titans. That would be amazing.
Yeah, no, it'd be great. I don't know why they don't give it as much attention. I guess the licensing stuff. But moving on, Michael says Firefly he would like to turn into Futurama. That's all forever and always his answers to the question.
Yeah, I saw that one, and that was that's just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I would buy that right now.
I cannot hate that because of the just how fun it would be. Firefly, it's a good game. I enjoy it. It's not my favorite pick up and deliver, but if you put a Futurama theme on that, it'd be so hilarious. And just do the whole tongue in cheek like Futurama is.
Oh heck yeah. Heck yeah. Even have like the money with Ronald Reagan and stuff on there and like have like little bubbles coming out with like the things he said.
Or give us the little heads in the jar. This way you have to like deliver them somewhere to the museum or something like that. All right, you want to read the next one?
Yep, and this is one I actually did read earlier, which is the Kingdom Death Monster retheming to Kingdom Hearts. I'm a huge sucker for Kingdom Hearts. I was this close from buying Talisman Kingdom Hearts just because it had Kingdom Hearts on it, and it looked really cool. But I know Talisman's not really that great of a game, so
yeah. It's a roll and move, and some people have issues with roll and move. So yeah, I don't disagree. It would be interesting taking that really, really dark theme that is Kingdom Death Monster, and let's not lie, it's a dark theme. From my understanding of the game, I only seen the Kickstarter and other people talk about it. It's not something I'm interested in trying. And turning into Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, no, and Kingdom Death Monster 2 is really expensive to get into. I mean, that's one. Don't get me wrong, everything looks stunning and gorgeous on that,
Oh
but
yeah,
that
yeah.
is one
Great minis,
I'm never
too.
going to be able to. Yeah, I'm never going to be able to play because I'm not going to put the money or effort
Yeah,
into
wasn't
trying to
like
get that.
the all in like $800 or something like that?
Yeah, I think on the second reprinting of it, it was somewhere around there to get everything. I was like, ugh.
That was more than our car payment by like 3 months.
Yeah, and a
So
lot of
yeah,
people have
no,
it.
yeah. So I'm good on that one. The next one on the list here by Randy is Doomhaven. And now I get what he's trying to do here, and I think that would be an interesting game. But Doom is your rail shooter, first person, blow everything up. Where Gloomhaven, you're actually making a lot of solid choices and stuff like that. So I want an interesting how you go into depth of Doom, because basically you're fighting through hell. And so, sure.
I'm not gonna lie. I have something with Gloomhaven on my list. We'll little sneak peek, but you're right. For me, that's cool, but you're right because it is a rail like shooter. I don't know the decisions that you make in Gloomhaven would be as good if you did it in the Doom universe.
Yeah. So the next one will be Zach. Go ahead and read that one.
Zach is. Oh, you're giving me the long one, aren't you?
I'll take it if you want me to.
Yeah, take that one. I'll get the next one.
Sounds good. Zach says a What We Do in the Shadows re-theme of Theory of Dracula. I'm not familiar with What We Do in the Shadows, but it's a hit a betrayer move, so that would be interesting. I like the second one, which is a Shaun of the Dead re-theme of Dead of Winter. That would be fun. And again,
Yeah.
going along the lines of the Futurama, the tongue-in-cheek aspect of it would be hilarious. And then the last one that he put on here would be a Breaking Bad re-theme of Potion Explosion. Yeah, that was the last one.
Yeah.
I get it. My only issue with that, and again, it's your own personal copy, it's fine, is I like Breaking Bad. It's a great show. I just don't know if I want a game about making drugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That one always does. That would be like one of those NC-17 kind of games, and you're just like, how many people are really going to pick that up? You've now just cut your deal in half.
Yeah,
especially off of something like Potion Explosion, which is a huge family game.
Oh, it's a great family game too at that, and you're taking it to. Don't get me wrong. This is about our own personal game, so be it. All right, so I know there's a new one that just popped up. You want to take Matt's?
I don't know if it's a joke though, because I think
it's a joke.
Okay, it's supposed to be in Istanbul into Constantinople. I know Istanbul. We'll just leave it at that.
So the joke. I don't know if you know the joke there.
I don't.
Constantinople was the original city name of Istanbul.
Okay.
So historically,
that's why I was
it
like,
was yeah. So that's why it's funny. That's the joke, is because Istanbul was originally Constantinople.
Okay, I'll give you that. That's okay.
And finally, this just popped up right as we were starting to record. Ben said he's worked out ideas for a Voltron re-theme of Castle Panic that is saying it would be something that he would stand in line to buy. And so I'm not going to lie, I do have a Castle Panic re-theme on my list here that I think would be amazing, but we'll get into that when we get into that. All right, so thank you everybody for who commented and, give us some wonderful ideas here. But Brys, are you ready to get into it?
We're going to try.
All right, so as always, we pick 8 games and put our spin on it as we always do. We like to keep a nice set of 8 because that's what we do. We got the top 8 debate. We got our 8 games. They're top 8. So there you go. And this time I do have a coin of doom. So Brys, do you want to call it?
sure. We'll go heads.
As it is, so you will be starting us out.
All right. So this is one I've actually done already. I haven't gone into like the full reskinning of it, but it is one, and it's Downforce. Now everybody puts Mario Kart on there, and that's cool. But what I ended up doing was doing Cars, because Cars had those little miniature mini, like micro minis. And so I have a whole set of Cars, and especially now that they just came out with their little like the Track of Doom or whatever it was. I'm trying to now collect all the like demolition cars that they had in the movie, so then that way you can swap them out and play as the demolition characters as well. So I was like, dude, this is a perfect one. Like that's why I was like, I have 4 of these really off the top of my head easy. When you said I had needed 8, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna need a little look into that other ones. But that's my first one.
Yeah, this wasn't an easy list to make, and I had a week to do it. You had like 2 days. So I get it. So my first one is kind of interesting. So one of the games that you and me have played and enjoyed is Time Stories. We had a great time with this, and I want to retheme, but sort of. I like the going back in time theme of it as well, but I want it rethemed with famous investigators from literary times. So I'm talking about like Hercule Poirot and Sherlock Holmes and stuff like that. So you're playing, instead of playing as the random characters that go back in time, instead you go back in time and kidnap these characters to help you investigate these crimes, to maybe change the timeline, make things better. And so you're using Sherlock Holmes, Hercule Poirot, any of those literary detectives. I can't remember the guy's name from the Asimov series, but those would all be really, really good detectives. It's solving mysteries through times, using all these characters, these rethemes, take away those little wood pieces for your player characters and give you like little 3D printed minis of Sherlock Holmes and all these other characters. I think it would be a phenomenal story to tell, especially since they've redone Time Stories with like these individual games now rather than you just buy the expansion packs and go through. I think it would be fun. Time Stories was a fun game that we played. Haven't played it in a while. And I just think adding these famous literary detectives would help a lot.
Yeah, no, that sounds like fun. And as soon as you said it, I started thinking like, who would I pick as my team? I'd have Batman in there. I'd have Sherlock Holmes, Harry Dresden.
There you go. You do know who Hercule Poirot is, right?
Isn't Hercule Poirot from what's the train one?
Yeah, Murder on the Orient Express. Yes, the
Yes.
Agatha Christie murder mystery novels used Hercule Poirot as her main detective.
When you first said it, I was thinking about, I don't know who. I was like, oh nope, yeah, I remember. That's older literature, yeah.
Yeah. Oop, hitting my desk over here. All right, your next one.
All right. So my next one is going to be Colt Express, and I would retheme it to a Harry Potter theme. So it would be the Hogwarts Express.
Ah.
And it would be set in the 3rd book when the Dementors show up.
Okay.
So similar how they do like I'm not sure if you've ever played the Lego games where they have the whole like they actually do a scene on the Express during that same thing.
Oh yeah.
So instead of it being the sheriff, it would be a Dementor that you're trying to escape, and you're trying to collect like frogs and jelly beans and stuff like that as you play, make it a little bit more family friendly. And then you could even do the expansion, because in Colt Express they have an expansion where you could get, it's not one you could buy, it was like a special edition. You can get the DeLorean to put in the front.
Okay, yeah.
You could do the Weasley's blue car in the front.
The Ford Angelina?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, no, that would actually be kind of cool. I'm not a huge fan of Colt Express, but maybe if you put that theme on there, it'd be interest me. And it's not because I hate Colt Express because it's a bad game. No, it's a good game. It's just I got these sausage fingers and I can't move anything. So give me a giant version of that, I'd probably play it.
I'll just remember to bring tweezers next time
So my number 7, or my 7th pick here, is an interesting game that I talked about when we talked about bang for your buck, and that's Dragonwood. It's all about, fighting creatures and defeating them and getting your victory points on that. But you know what would be a cool reskinning of that? Pokemon. It's already a family friendly game. You're already having a great time. It's already got really cool capture mechanics if you think about it, because you're
Yep.
rolling the dice and you're using sets of cards and stuff like that. The sets of cards can be like potions or master balls and
Berries and stuff like that.
berries and stuff like that. Yeah, so you already have that concept, and you're going around all these different areas and capturing these creatures to help you in your fights and stuff like that. Oh, I got a Snorlax. That's going to be 4 or 5 points. That could be like the Screaming Ogre or whatever it is. So I just think it would be amazing. It's not a very thematic game to begin with, but hey, we need a good Pokemon game out there other than the trading card game, and this I think would do it. Dragonwood reskinned as Pokemon.
It's funny because I'm trying. I haven't pulled the trigger, but I've been looking at that old school, has the original 151 Pokemon
Mm-hmm.
game. I can't think came out from Mattel. I've actually debated on buying that because I've heard it's probably one of the best. But I do have a Pokemon game on here. But after you said Dragon, was like, man, Dragon would be awesome for Pokemon. And then you said, and I was like, great minds. And now I'm already thinking like, man, you could do some cool stuff in there. Like the cards that you get have like a one-time use where you could use it to capture another one,
Yeah, yeah.
but for like less abilities or something. That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, no, I think Dragonwood already has, like I said, a great capture mechanic in the game mechanism. So just putting Pokemon on that would be a great job.
Heck yeah. All right. So my next one, this is where I'm bringing in Gloomhaven. So I would like to see, and don't get me wrong, Gloomhaven is great, but the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game that I have is great as well. But I want a little bit more substance in there, like more of a story. So I would like to see Gloomhaven like with a team and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle theme on there, where you go through and the turtles actually have like they're fighting foot, they're fighting other mutants. I mean, there's a lot of things that the turtles do fight that you can put in there
Oh yeah,
and make it like small campaigns to play.
yeah, no, what people don't realize, most people just think Ninja Turtles, Foot Clan. That's basically the Joker for the Ninja Turtles. But you have
Yeah.
King from Planet X and the Invasion. Then you have the other mutants that have issues and stuff like that. So there's a lot going on in Ninja Turtles. I haven't read the comics in a while, but oh my god, they're so good.
Yeah. And so it's just one of those, and I love my Ninja Turtle game. It's really cool and it's a lot of fun, but it's a 1v1 all. And that usually means if I'm playing it, I'm the bad guy. And I'm like, I want to be a Ninja Turtle. I want to go and
Yeah.
do all this cool stuff. So
Yeah, no, I get it. I don't disagree with you. That would actually be quite interesting. Shockingly enough, Gloomhaven is not on my list or reskinning of it because I think Gloomhaven is perfect as it is.
yeah, no, and like I said, I know this is kind of like how would you make a game better kind of thing, but like for me, I was
Yeah.
just like, to make a game better for me would be to take my Ninja Turtle game and turn it into Gloomhaven because Gloomhaven is so amazing. I want something more like that on a theme that I really want either that or Ghostbusters on that theme because Ghostbusters fight a lot of different ghosts and stuff like that. And the Ghostbusters game that we backed was not good at all. It was the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, the
It
thing
was
is, it was good for what it is, but if after you play it 10 times, you're playing it the same thing, even though there's different monsters on the field. It's
yeah.
just there's no differences. Gloomhaven is like, oh, you got to kill everything. Okay, there's quite a bit of those, but then you also like, oh no, you're not going to be able to kill anything. Run over here, beat up that thing, and then leave, or else you're going to lose the scenario and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
like that aspect, and I know what you're saying. So yeah. Moving on to my next game, it's actually a game I don't own and only played once and really enjoyed playing it, just haven't played it in a while. It's a game you own, and that's Spectre Ops.
Ooh.
So this is my token hidden betrayer or one versus mini game, but it's like the hidden movement game. So we have like a Jaws version, Fury of Dracula, and Spectre Ops. But I think Spectre Ops gives you just enough time. It's about a 1 hour, 2 hour game. Put a James Bond theme on that. One person is playing Bond, who's trying to disrupt the evil henchman and the bad guy and his henchmen as he's going down, and the other players are the henchmen trying, like Odd Job and stuff like that, trying to stop Bonds from thwarting what they're doing. I just think this would be one of the best games that James Bond's character ever came out with. I'm surprised it hasn't been made, because this is the perfect reskinning right here. Spectre Ops, which plays quickly compared to like something like Fury of Dracula, and James Bond, a spy film. This is perfect.
That's a good one. That is a good one. I thought about Spectre Ops too, and I was like, man, I like the theme on it already. And I was trying to think of something, but James Bond would be a good one on that one for sure.
Yeah, no, I like that one a lot.
Mine next one is Hogwarts Battle. And this is where my Pokemon game comes in. So Hogwarts Battle, you would be buying like different Pokemon cards to then go and fight like your Team Rockets. And you literally could do, the first deal would be setting up for Team Rocket. And then after that, especially if you've ever read the actual manga, not the cartoon or the animated series, but the actual manga, like a lot of those those gym leaders aren't like the nicest people in the world.
No, it's a really dark manga. I've actually read it.
Yeah. I have the first one, and I'm reading it. I'm like, holy crap! I wish this is how the anime was. But like, if you were to take that Hogwarts Battle and then go and do that, and like have Team Rockets and the Elite Four and all the gyms and stuff like that, it would be a lot of fun.
Honestly,
I think
if you think about it, it actually wouldn't be that bad, because it's basically 8 gyms plus the Elite Four. So you could basically do, the basic one is just the gyms. The expansion could be the Elite Four, and the newest expansion could be like the Rocket Hideout or something like that. So there's so much you could do. No, that's a good pick. All right. So moving on to mine, this is my downforce. And yeah, you mentioned it earlier where people saying make it Mario Kart. Well, I had a better idea for downforce along the Mario Kart route, but make it a kart racer. And it's not just using the downforce mechanisms, because that's helpful, but you also get special abilities. I know a lot of people say Rush and Bash is the Mario Kart thing, but I just think downforce is already a great racing game, and then you add some stuff to it to make it better. And I'm not talking about just Mario. I'm talking about all the kart racers that were made that have all the different mascots. Have Sonic in this, have Mario in this, have Crash Bandicoot, Banjo and Kazooie, just like Gex, just like all those random characters in carts beating each other up. I just think you would have so much fun with this. You have your special powers that help your player win, but you're still not out of the game, because you can still make bets in the background.
the
reason why
that'd be cool.
And the reason why I was thinking about this is there was a reskinning. This was at the El Paso Con about 2 years ago or 3 years ago. There was this guy who made this giant pod racer game based off the episode 1 Phantom Menace pod racing scenes, and it was so fun. There was so much going on. You had to roll all these dice, but it's his own reskinning. I'm like, if you trim that down and make downforce like a kart racer, or even put a pod racer theme on this, it would work so well, because people would still have fun, plus the betting on it as well. I think this would be a great game.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah, no, that sounds like a lot of fun. It'd almost be like you could do them as different expansions and stuff like that. Like, get your base set, and then here's all you could even do, granted now, you could even do like stuff from like Wreck-It Ralph, where they had like the,
Vanilla
Sugar Rush characters. Yeah.
No, it'd be cool. I think it'd be amazing just to turn downforce into a kart racer with some fun.
My next one is going to be Islebound. And the theme I would like to see on Islebound, and it was one of the reasons why I picked up, because when we played it, I was like, man, this would be so cool if you could turn it into One Piece. I'm a huge anime nut, and the whole fact that you have your own pirate, like your own crew, and you're going off, and you're fighting pirates and stuff like that, but you go to these different islands. I mean, it already is kind of set up for One Piece. You just need your own like character head, and you could have like all the different captains, and you could get all these characters and put them on your ship and stuff. But yeah, I would like to see Islebound rethemed into a One Piece themed game. So
Yeah, I can't disagree with you on that one. Wildbound is fun. Had a good time playing it when we did play it, and I do like One Piece, but oh boy, have I not finished that. I'm like so far behind on the anime itself. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to pick this up, because there's what, 900 episodes or something like that.
while you're discussing your next one, I'll look it up because I'm caught up, and I'll tell you exactly where I'm at episode wise.
All right. So my next one is Western Legends. I love that game. I think it's a great game. And I like the historical people in that game. But you know what would make it better? Because you're already playing basically what is a fantasy theme of, or a movie version of the West. Give me some movie characters, like the people from the Magnificent Seven, or the Clint Eastwood characters from The Man with No Name and stuff like that, as well as heck, get me Marty McFly from Back to the Future 3 and Doc. I just think you put in some of the fictional Western stuff that's already out there. You're already in pretty much a fictional Western scene. Give us the fictional Western characters as well. I think it'd be really good. It's a very fun and interesting concept, putting these characters in an already great game. And another thing I would love a retheming of this as well is give me a Western Legends Legacy. So just there's a couple things that you can do with Western Legends here. Give me a legacy version of it, a campaign style, or give me some of those fictional characters that I grew up watching, like the Clint Eastwood characters from A Fistful of Dollars and A Man with No Name, and the Magnificent Seven, stuff like that. I just think it would be fun to play these characters.
That'd be really cool. There's 975 episodes.
I wasn't too far off.
I honestly thought it was on 1,000. I really did. I was like, dude, I think I'm on like 1,000 if I'm not mistaken. No, yeah, you're close. So
I think I left off at like 400 and something, and just haven't picked. It's been years since I watched it. I used to watch it a lot back in the day. I haven't watched an anime in, I want to say when Death Note finished. I think it was the last time I watched an anime.
yeah, the only reason I got into One Piece is we just had Beckham, and I watched it with him when he was really little, and I got addicted to it. He watches it with me every now and then, but I'm now on subtitled and not dubbed, and so he's just like, okay, lose interest.
I'm out. I can't understand what they're saying.
So my next one is going to be Camel Up. And with Camel Up, this is where I would skin it for Mario Kart. And the reason being is in Camel Up, you could throw in more cards now, but in Camel Up, you have like these little I can't remember what it's called, but it's a card that you can put down that if a camel lands on it, it goes backwards or it goes forwards. Mm-hmm. So you already have like a mechanism in there that allows you to do it. You're just adding betting on in the end, but it'd be kind of cool to have that as a retheme for Mario Kart, since you're already kind of attacking other characters' pieces to make them lose bets. So,
no, I get that. That would be kind of cool. I'm not a huge fan of Camel Up, and maybe the Mario Kart theme would make me a bigger fan of it. But no, I don't blame you on that one. That's actually not a bad idea. It's better than what Camel Up's theme is already as it is. So,
see, I like Camel Up. Camel Up's a lot of fun. I know you don't like it, and I love racing games. So, no.
Very few racing games I really like. Downforce is probably my go-to racing game. I do enjoy Rush Clash. That one's actually pretty fun too. So moving on to my next game, my number 3 here is Wasteland Delivery Service. It's already got a built-in theme for you. Any post-apocalyptic world, you always think of one thing, and that's Mad Max. Using the Mad Max characters and the gangs, trying to make delivery, eking out the thing. And the thing I want also with this one is have your ability to attack each other and steal each other's resources. I think would be kind of interesting as well. Not just the other NPC gangs that are out there, but start attacking each other if you possibly can. Just to use the characters from Mad Max would be so fun because it's already a great post-apocalyptic game, and then throwing a great post-apocalyptic series into it would be fun.
Yeah. No, that is a good one. I like that. What number are we on now? We're on 7?
2. Yeah, so it'd be 7.
2. Okay. My next one would be Rampage, or I think it's like
Terror in Maple City.
Terror in Maple City. I would like to see that retheme for Godzilla. Now I know there's already a Godzilla game out there, and it's a great game. We played it. I like it a lot. But I think it'd be cool to have like the Godzilla character in there because you're destroying the city anyway. So you actually have like the city built out in front of you, and you then end up destroying it. So
yeah, no, it's a good one. I thought about it, in all honesty, but I really like Tokyo Clash a little bit more. So I didn't really think about it. Now, here comes my stretch. It's a game that I barely like. I like playing it while drinking and stuff like that because you don't really have to concentrate too hard with this game. And that's Takedo.
Okay.
You want to take a guess what kind of theme I would put on this?
Kaido. I can't think of anything.
Forrest Gump.
Oh, Jesus.
Instead of a travel game where you're doing like picking all these things up and the art and stuff like that, if you put Forrest Gump on this, you're doing his life events. You're trying to see who had the bigger life as Forrest Gump, going from like the Vietnam War, or from when he was a kid to playing football in college to the Vietnam War, and just hitting all these little life points, memorable moments in his life as you're going through the series. I think actually would fit pretty well in the way the Takedo mechanic works. So you can go as far as you want, but everybody else can hit all the little spots as well before they hit that big spot. Is it important for you to hit that big spot to get that more powerful moment in the game? Or do you want to, take all as much as you can to see if you can get nickel and dime all your points as best you can? It's one of my favorite movies, and I just think it lends itself to this game pretty well, especially how calm and simple Takedo is, that Forrest Gump could work as well. What, you got nothing to say about that?
No, I'm just laughing because I know Forrest Gump's one of your favorite movies. It's a good movie, but I always fall asleep when I watch it, and I'm like, Takedo's a boring game. I was like, I guess the theme matches. Sorry. I mean, it fits, and I see what you're saying. Like, that's really cool. I know I'm just not a Forrest Gump fan, so I can't like, oh yeah, that's a great one.
Oh, see, I love Forrest Gump, and I just think it lends itself to Takedo. And like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Takedo. I like the concept of Takedo, what it's trying to do. It just, the theme itself doesn't really fit me. Getting the panorama cards. I like the concept of, going as far as you want, but then the person who's furthest back can take as many turns as they want behind that. And I just think it works in that aspect because instead of going through one road to Kaido, you're going through like moments of his life and you're getting like collections and stuff like that. Oh, I can pick up the Medal of Honor for doing this and stuff, that sort of stuff. So I just think it works.
Yeah. My last one, the last melon, is going to be Arkham Horror. I would re-theme it with the Dresden Files.
That is actually.
It's already a very, very, yes. It's already a very, very similar theme. You're dealing with the detective work. You're trying to stop cults and stuff like that. But as much as Arkham Horror is really cool, I really love the Dresden Files. And the Dresden File card game, it's okay. I ended up trading it away after I bought it, but I think it'd be better as like a Arkham Horror game style.
No, I don't disagree. A Dresden File needs a better game. The one game was fine. It was good. I enjoyed playing it. In fact, made me start reading the series, though I'm nowhere near anywhere you're at. I think I'm only on book 6 because I got like 5 other series I'm working on at the moment too, and one of them is
And
not small at all.
and I might add another series on too when we get done talking. But you continue with.
All right, so my last one, I hinted at it when we were talking about the person's comment about Voltron with Castle Panic. This is my retheming of Castle Panic, and this is Helm's Deep from the Two Towers. You're playing a great castle defense game that's out there with Castle Panic, and then you're putting one of the greatest tower defenses in the history of literature and movies. This would be my go-to Castle Panic game out of all. I love Star Trek Panic, but if they made this a Two Towers version of Castle Panic, I would buy this in a heartbeat. Playing as the actual characters, playing as Gimli, or trying to play as Gimli or Legolas. There's your archers. There's your melee attacker. You got the what are the Olifants coming in trying to beat everything up. You have the orcs. You have the trebuchets. All that going on. You're trying to throw pitch out there while trying to keep all the defense, and hopefully you draw Gandalf to come in and help you out with the Riders of Rohan and stuff like that. So Castle Panic, Helm's Deep, Two Towers, I think would be amazing.
That would be awesome, and especially too because I think, if I'm not mistaken, isn't there like stuff when you pull out of the bag, like there's good things. There's not a lot of them, but there's some good things in there.
There are some good things, yeah.
Because then you could have in there like the Riders of Rohan show up and like take out like 3 people on like the east side or whatever side that you decide to go with.
Yeah.
Gandalf
being one of them.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I like that. That's a good one.
I'm surprised they haven't made a tower defense based on Helm's Deep. It's thriving it's ready made to make into a board game that everybody would get behind, and then you put the Castle Panic mechanisms on it. I think it would be amazing.
With that, yeah, no, that's a good one. I like that a lot.
All righty, so that's my list. You said there's something you wanted to add real quick before.
Oh no! Wait, add. Oh, you?
Oh no, you said you were going to add on a series.
I was going to add on to your series of books because our mutual friend Dom got me into a book, and I am almost done reading it, and it is called Hard Magic.
Oh God!
It is, and I looked it up. There's like 6 books, and I just finished book 1 this morning, and I'm like, oh my God, this is good. I'm gonna have to yell at Dom because now I have more money going into my books now.
Okay. For those out there, before we do our end game, I have to finish the Stormlight Archives. I'm on book 3 right now. Those are well over 1,000 pages a piece. I still have book 4 to read. I'm barely on book 6 of Dresden Files, and I think there's like 19 or 20 books in that series.
There's 15. You're okay.
I'm not even
there's a lot of
in-between
books too, but there's technically only 15 books.
I'm sticking to the main series. I know the in-betweens are good, but I don't have the time. I'm also reading the Magic Kingdom for Sale series. I have finished the Red Rising series. So there's a lot going on here that I'm trying to keep up with. And then again, playing video games and trying to get board gaming done because I got a board gaming podcast. It's not easy. But
yeah, that's why you need to get Audible, because then that way you can just listen to it while you play your games.
I do have Audible. I prefer using my Audible for like the Star Wars books just because I like the way they act them in there. I don't mind Red Rising on Audible, but what was it? There was a Stephen King book that had a guy who was reading, I think it was The Outsider. And he has one of those where he whistles on his S's, and it was driving me insane the entire time that I had to go buy a physical copy of the book because I just couldn't listen to it anymore.
That's funny. Yeah, no, there's a couple of people out there I know what you're talking about. There's some bad reads out there, some bad ones.
Yeah. All right. With that being said, that was our list of games that we would like to reskin. I want to thank Brys again for joining us. Brys, you want to tell people what TikTok or what's your TikTok handle?
Yeah, so my TikTok handle is at Gamehead Geek. Sorry, I just changed my name from my actual name into this. So my new TikTok handle is at Gamehead Geek. So
Pretty
go
cool.
check it out. I got some cool stuff on there.
Yeah, I've actually seen some of your content. I've really enjoyed it. It's funny. Now I'm getting addicted to TikTok. I don't know if I'm going to start my own TikTok just because of the time and effort I already got to do editing all these podcasts that we do. So
I'm telling you, it's fun. It's
maybe
addicting.
you'll see me on his TikTok every now and then. So there's that.
Heck yeah.
With that being said,
But
I would like to let you all know that you can usually find us on Twitch at everydayboardgames.com, where we film these usually live. We've been, or twitch.tv, Everyday Board Games. We usually film them live. We've been having some internet issues as well as just unable to access it from time to time. We're going to try to get back on there and do it, as well as you can find all video re-uploads on YouTube at Everyday Board Games 2020. And if you like what we do, please give us a subscribe. It helps us grow immensely on the platform, as well as give a like on the video and comment down below which is your favorite game on this list or what you think would fit this category. And once again, this helps us grow on the platform, as well as all audio versions can be found on most podcast platforms under Everyday Board Games Podcast. This includes Spotify, Google, Amazon Music, and Podbean. You can also get in contact with us through our email address at everydayboardgames2020@gmail.com, as well as our official Twitter account at EBG Podcast. With that being said, I've been Daniel.
And I'm Brys.
And thank you for joining Everyday Board Games.